the biggest questions you want answered this upcoming season?
Number one, George Pickens. Will he be a distraction to the team, or will he be a big-time addition to the team? George Pickens is one of the most talented receivers in the entire National Football League. But last year in Pittsburgh, we saw some high highs and some low lows. Which version of George Pickens will you get? Will you get the George Pickens that is truly a number one receiver, or will it be the George Pickens that was in and out of the lineup? That's part one. But part two, Travis Hunter. I want to see, where will he start, but also where will he star? Will he start at wide receiver? Will he start at DB? Will he start at both? And then will he be a star at either one or both? I think Travis Hunter has the potential to be a star on both offense and defense. James Gladstone, their GM, I believe he thinks the same. But do NFL offenses think he's the same? Will they try to attack him on defense? Or will NFL defenses attack him when it comes to the offensive side of the ball? So I cannot wait to watch not only what George Pickens does, but also Travis Hunter this year in the NFL.
I love all those questions, and I can't wait until they're answered. So we begin the countdown saying NFL football season can't come soon enough. We appreciate you joining SportsCenter.
All right, Acho's got questions. I have answers to some bets you can make right now as we wait for the NFL season to start. Question, what's my favorite win total bet to attack right now? It's the Dallas Cowboys over 7.5 wins, minus 145 at ESPN Bet. It all comes down to this. If Dak Prescott's going to be healthy, they're going to win 8 games. He's done it every single year. He has played at least 14 games. So if he is missing games, we're screwed. If he's playing games, Dak has a floor of at least 8 wins. I do think George Pickens is going to be a good addition to that offense alongside CeeDee Lamb. Question number 2, what's my favorite awards market bet? It's number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward, to be the offensive rookie of the year. That's the answer right there. He's not the favorite. How often do we see a number 1 overall pick at quarterback not be the favorite to win rookie of the year? That's Raiders running back Ashton Jeanty, who I think is going to be good. But I think the value's on Ward, because if he stays healthy and plays all 16 games, it's likely 17 games. It's likely going to go to a quarterback. Question number 3. What's my favorite player prop bet? This is a milestone market with Caleb Williams to go over 4,000 passing yards. I think with Ben Johnson and the draft picks and the additions to the O-line, he becomes the first Bear in history to throw for 4,000 yards at QB. It's plus 250 at ESPN Bet. Final question. Here's my answer to the favorite long shot bet of the season, Tyreek Hill to lead the NFL in receiving yards at 16-1. Remember, before last year's disastrous season, he had 1,700 yards in back-to-back years. I think Tyreek can do that again at 16-1.
It's that time of year, time to go camping in the NFL. Veterans report to camp tomorrow for both the Chiefs and Cowboys, and Dallas has their work cut out for them. A new head coach with playoff aspirations, while the Chiefs look to not only dominate in the AFC West, but return to the Super Bowl for the 4th straight season and win their 4th Lombardi in the last 6 years. Reporting now to SportsCenter is our football analyst, Sam Acho. As Sam, Dak's healthy, George Pickens joins CeeDee Lamb in that wide receiver room, and everything will be led by new head coach Brian Schottenheimer. So what are the realistic expectations for this Dallas team?
It is realistic for the Dallas Cowboys to make the playoffs, but the reality is they're vying for 3rd place in the NFC East. Why do I say that? Yes, they have weapons on offense, George Pickens being one of them, but the defense was one of the worst in all of the NFL last season. They have a new defensive coordinator in Matt Eberflus. They have some new pieces, guys like Kenneth Murray, DeMarvion Overshown should be healthy. But I still have concerns about this team because why? You think about how much better Philadelphia's gotten with their draft. You think about how much better Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders have gotten. I think the Dallas Cowboys can compete for a playoff spot, but it's going to be a difficult run. I don't see them winning the division. I don't see them being a 12 or 13 win team. But if they can win at least some games outside of the division, they can compete in the playoffs.
Yeah, look, it's been 30 years since the Cowboys last won the Super Bowl. They have just 5 total playoff wins since being in Super Bowl 30, so they got a long way to go. Meanwhile,
Yo, Vikings fans, buckle up. This is not a drill. This is not a rumor. According to multiple reports and some whispers we've been tracking here at Report Vikings, the Minnesota Vikings are in real talks with the Dallas Cowboys to trade for Micah Parsons. Yeah, that Micah Parsons, 3-time All-Pro, one of the most dominant edge rushers in the NFL today. Let me break it all down for you, what the trade might look like, how serious the situation is, and most importantly, how this could change the entire identity of our defense moving forward. But before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any breaking updates like this. Now let's get into it. So here's what we're hearing. Despite what Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office have been saying publicly, negotiations between Dallas and Micah Parsons are basically stuck. Parsons wants to get paid, and not just a little bit. He's reportedly seeking a 5-year deal worth around $200 million. That would make him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Dallas, they're hesitant. The cap situation is tight, and they're reportedly unsure about giving that kind of long-term deal to any non-QB, even someone as dominant as Parsons. That's where the Vikings come in. Our front office sees an opportunity, and according to sources close to the situation, talks have been initiated between Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah and Dallas. It's not speculation anymore. It's real. We're talking about a potential blockbuster deal that could send multiple first-round picks and possibly a young player over to Dallas and bring Micah freaking Parsons to Minnesota. Now, I know some fans are gonna say, Victor, we've been rebuilding. Why would we give up that much capital for a guy that expensive? Let me tell you why, because he's worth every single penny. Micah Parsons has 40.5 sacks in just 3 seasons. He's forced 7 fumbles, has over 250 total pressures, and ranks top 3 in pass rush win rate every year since entering the league. He's not just an edge rusher, he's a complete game wrecker. Imagine Brian Flores designing a defense around Danielle Hunter and Micah Parsons coming off opposite edges. That's nightmare fuel for every offensive coordinator in the NFC. And with how young our core is, J.J. McCarthy, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson locked in long-term, adding a player like Parsons accelerates everything. He fits the window. He raises the ceiling of this entire team. Here's the type of deal being discussed behind the scenes. Vikings receive Micah Parsons. Cowboys receive 2026 first-round pick. 2027 first round pick, 2027. Second round pick. Possibly an additional mid-rounder or a young rotational player. It's a big haul, but again, this is a generational talent, and with over $110 million in projected cap space in 2026, the Vikings are one of the few teams that can afford to give Parsons the deal he wants without gutting the roster. If this deal goes through, everything changes. We're no longer a team waiting on a rookie QB to develop. We're a team building a contender right now. Parsons gives us a face of the defense. He brings swagger. He brings identity. He brings pressure, something we lacked in key moments last year. This move would send a message to the entire league. The Vikings are done sitting back. We're going for it. And look, I know not everyone's gonna love giving up draft picks, but sometimes you've gotta take a swing, and this is a home run swing at a Defensive Player of the Year candidate in his prime. Alright, Vikings Nation, you've heard my take. Now I want to hear yours. Would you pull the trigger on this trade for Micah Parsons? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you love it, hate it, or think it's too risky? I'll be reading and responding to as many as I can. And don't forget, if you're hyped about what's happening in Minnesota, hit that like button, subscribe to Report Vikings, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next update. Because if this deal goes through, we'll be talking legacy level stuff here. Until next time, Skull baby, let's build something legendary.